recording for today. All right, we're rolling again. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to jump back in here. Colton, if you would type that in there for that book. Thanks, sir. Okay, so I was talking about a couple different things for personal development. Sounds like y'all took on that. So I'm going to move on to the next topic I want to talk about, which is tracking your numbers. With it being the first of the month, this is a real good time for you guys to hear this, get this sunk in, and then make a decision on what you want to do. In any business, it's all about measurement. You always measure everything. That's how you know if things are working or if things are not working. When you're first getting started, you're trying to learn all the different skills on it. But one of the best ways of learning those skills is know what the things are that should be tracked. And if you look at those things that should be tracked, it makes it a whole lot easier to know what are the things that I should be paying attention to. If it's not being measured, it's not important. That's just how it goes in business. If it is important, you measure it. One of the things that's measured is revenue. How much are you making? If you have a business, you want to know how much you're making. You want to know how much your expenses are. You want to know how much your labor is. You want to know how much you have in cost of goods. You want to have all these different numbers that you look at. If you're not keeping up with those, you have no idea how things are going. You can have a feeling on how things are, but that's not what it's about. It's about knowing specifically what's going on in my business. If you're choosing this vehicle for network marketing, what's so interesting about this, and there's very few things like this on the planet, you can get lucky. You can make a lot of money in this business and really not even be treating it like a business. You can be treating it like a glorified hobby, or you can just get lucky. And that's very rare, very, very rare. This business, a lot of times, will mask your skill. Other times, it's going to absolutely expose your skill. All business will do that. But this one's special where you can sometimes hide in there. One of the things that I highly suggest is that when you take that decision, when you decide to be a professional in this, is treat it like a pro, and a pro always knows their numbers. So the way that you go about tracking that is, I want to share that with you here. Before I do, Karen, did you have a chance to do what we were talking about on the phone? You're awesome.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you doing that.
I'm not sure I got everybody's name on there, but they can just add them or tell me and I'll add them.
Okay. And comments, did those make it over?
Oh, they did. On the first row, they did.
You are a rock star. All right. So let me see if I can do this without my computer deciding to lose internet. I think it was just a coincidence. Let me get this set up real fast, and then give me 1 second here.
All right. Looks like a few people have been out there.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. So if you go to the Power Hour website, there is a link on there that takes you to this document for this spreadsheet. And what this is a way to be able to track the numbers. And this is specifically what we do in my organization. And I made some changes to this last night for our group. I wanted to get more clarity and more clarification for people on what it is. And Karen was very gracious and copied this over, and she actually went to town on this. So she hooked you guys up on this. So what I want to do is I want to talk about the different numbers that we track in our business. The first things that you want to know is your QV and your CV. These are your very first numbers that you've got to know what's going on. If you don't know these, then you guys haven't you need to get there. Let's just say that. You need to get there on knowing these. You get these out of your back office, okay? The things that you want to be focusing on is starting off with your reach outs, okay? To reach out to somebody, you have to say hi to them. You got to get started with it. You got to say, hello, how are you doing? Sarah has reached out to 12 people today. So how did she do that? She literally could have called 12 different people. She could have talked to 12 people in the elevator. She could have sent out 12 text messages. She could have sent out 12 Messenger on Facebook Messenger. She could have done 12 DMs on Instagram. She could have went out onto LinkedIn. she reached out to 12 other human beings. I don't know what she did. Hopefully it was something along the lines of, hey, how you been? And just get the conversation started. If they reply, and if you hover over these, it's going to tell you, it's going to give you these comments so that you can understand what it is that you're tracking. If you're putting a 1 in the box right here, what is it that you are doing? If you reach out to somebody and they reply back and you're having a conversation, then you put, that counts as rapport. You have built rapport with somebody. And you want to track that. You'd want to put a 1 here if you built rapport with one person. If you reach out to 12 people and those people none of them reach back out to you, then you didn't build any rapport. If 3 of them say hi back, then you put a 3 in this box. So you went from 12 to 3. Doesn't mean that those other 9 aren't going to come along sometime. If they come along tomorrow, you put them here. You built rapport with somebody. Okay. Then after you're building rapport with them, you know it's time to be able to move to the next, because they're going to give you something personal. You might be building rapport with somebody over and over and over and over again. You'd want to just put in here the one time that you're going to do it, okay? So if you've got somebody, and this is to track how many people you reach out, and then how many of those people are going to reply back. There's a ratio that you will start seeing. If your reach out is terrible, or you have burnt some bridges in your past, then the reach outs to the rapport ratio, it might be very poor. You might have a very few rapport to the number of times that you reached out. If that's the case, then you can start making some insights into your business on what you need to do. You might need to repair some relationships. You might need to go and make some deposits in other people's emotional bank account. Maybe you haven't been doing that. Or maybe you reach out to 12 people and like 14 people reply. That's when you got really good rapport with people, okay? And so you would track that number. You keep up with that. And when you look at these totals over the month, over here in column A, it's going to be a summation that's going to occur. It's going to count all the ones that are going to occur all the way across here, okay? And so over the month, you're going to start seeing a ratio. You're going to start seeing some numbers that are going to mean something to you. The next thing that you're going to do is after you build rapport and they give you something personal based on all the skills that we've been learning, is the next thing you're going to do is you're going to pique their interest. You're going to attempt to do that. And you're going to ask them some questions. Based on what you've been talking to them about over the rapport building, at some point you're going to hear what's important to them. If you haven't heard that, you're not done building rapport. Some of you get to piquing their interest too soon. They're not interested because you haven't showed any interest in them yet. You've got to build that rapport with them. And when it's time to peak, if they told you something about health or beauty, then that would be somebody that you want to peak them as a customer. And you're going to attempt to do that. The way that you know that you have successfully piqued somebody's interest is when they say, really, that sounds interesting. What is that? What do you got? What's going on? When they do that, that's them raising their virtual hand that they're interested, and you put a 1 in the box. All right? So then you've piqued somebody's interest on the customer. If they tell you during the rapport building that they're looking for making some more money or they need more time, they're looking to build their wealth, they want to go on more vacations, these types of things, you got yourself a potential business partner. You need to find out if they're truly interested or if they were just complaining about sitting on that nail on the porch, or do they want to get up off of it and go do something about it. Sarah reached out to somebody and she reached out to him. The guy that responded, they were having a conversation, so the rapport has been built. She attempted to pique his interest, and that's where it died. She did not get to a successful peak. That's okay. Not everybody's going to be piqued. You're going to be able to funnel some of them out. You're going to be able to weed some of them out. Not everybody is going to be interested in what we do, nor do we want everybody, per what Sarah was talking about with the one she was dealing with. But if instead the person that Sarah was talking about goes, holy crap, yes, I am sick and tired, I'm miserable, I ain't got no money, and I want to change it. What do you have? Raise his hand. Now you've piqued their interest. You put a 1 in the box for that person. And then it's time to move on to the next step, which is the edification. Well, I'll tell you what I've got. I've got the golden goose. And the really cool thing is I'm working with the top people that are running this thing. I need to get you in touch with one of them so that they can tell you a little bit about it. So you're starting to edify the person. All right. Then after that, you want to be able to get them on to the actual person. Now, if you're looking in the Team Fusion family, and Karen made a great point about this and why I'm bringing it up now, is that if you go look in the Team Fusion family, what I'm showing here is not breaking what they're teaching whatsoever. I'm just taking it and I am further segmenting those steps to make sure that we can find out where things are working and where they're not, because that's a very precarious point. They call it the three-way. There's multiple things that go in from when you build rapport and you pique somebody's interest. The RP3 is R for rapport, P for peak, three-way. Three-way is a couple of different parts that go into it. We used to just have three-way when we tracked it. I want to know more details. I want to know, did you edify somebody? Did you do it right? I want to know, did the person that got on the phone call, did they actually do the three-way chat? And I want to make sure everybody knows that that's an inoculation that you're doing. You're giving them inoculation against a flu that they probably got inside of them. Like that person that Sarah's dealing with, couldn't even get them that far. They're so ate up with it. So what we're trying to do is get them past that so that they will actually get to the information down here in the ad and the tag. Some of you, this is how you go. You reach out and you immediately go for the exposure. You're going straight for the jugular. And you look and you see there's some steps that you forgot. You didn't build rapport. You didn't pique their interest. You didn't edify somebody. You didn't get them an inoculation talk. You just gave them the info. Why? Because they say, oh, yeah, just send me your info. They ain't going to look at it. It's not about just answering that question. It's about getting them to actually look. And they're not going to look when you just give them the information straight off. You got to go through these extra steps. Now, can you do it the other way? Absolutely. Is it going to duplicate? Absolutely not. I guarantee it. For sure, stake my life on it. If you do it in such a way where it will duplicate quickly. That's not just me saying that. It's not me just coming up with some fun stuff. I've got numbers that will absolutely back this up scientifically. So just follow it. Don't try to reinvent and understand why the atoms hold themselves together. Just go get the damn table and let's go. And what will happen here when you start tracking these numbers and you look at them over the long haul, I can literally look at your numbers over at least a 4 or 5 day span or more, and I can tell you where your business is broken. It's that scientific. If you will track these numbers, it will absolutely change the game. Won't it, Sherry? Won't it, Karen?
Yes.
Won't it, Jake? People that have done this with me?
Yes.
Say again?
I said my BMW says yes.
Yes, it does. And Jake's new white car that he just qualified for last night, I'd like to call a special shout out to new car qualified, Mr. Jake Wernitznig, crushing it, and his team crushing it. Now, here's the deal. He didn't get there because he sponsored everybody. He taught everybody how to do these steps. And when that happens, it duplicates. And that's what it's all about. All right. We got some questions here. Cool. Okay. Man, I can't believe we're already down to 5 minutes. Okay, so I want you guys to start tracking your numbers on this. Now, here's the deal. I don't want you to track your numbers for 3 days because you're fired up after this phone call, and then you slack off. This is where the discipline comes in. The other reason I do this is the people that will keep doing this on a daily basis, no matter what, that's who I work with in my team. The people that do that, they get my time. If they don't do that, they're not going to get my time. They'll get group time, but they're not going to get personal time. That's just how it is. I am looking for people that want to take this thing all the way. The people that track their numbers, the people that put those in there on a daily basis, those are the ones that are serious. Is this easy to do? Ridiculously easy to do. It might take you 5 minutes to go through your phone and recreate the day to be able to get this nailed down. And once you get good at it, you'll literally be able to knock it out probably in a matter of 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so measurement is everything. And it allows you to make adjustments fast. You can find out real quick, do I have a hole in my oil pipeline somewhere? You don't want to be, 3-4 months down the road after you sent person after person after person into your pipeline, and they keep falling out because you're not doing the steps right. That's why you want to track your numbers so that you can see with real results. Now, here's the other thing that's going to expose you. Numbers are going to expose you. Be completely cool with that. If you go in here and you put a one single number more than what you did, the only person that you're hurting is you. Do not let your ego get in the way on the numbers that you put in here. If you reached out to nobody today, put a 0. If you didn't do anything, if your numbers didn't move on your CV or your QV, put a 0 in it. Let that light you up. Let that irritate you so much that you keep looking at it. Look at it in the mirror. Be honest with yourself. Say, this sucks. I don't like this. Don't say and make excuses and blame it and hide and all of that. Put your numbers in there. When they're 0 for 4 days in a row, put zeros in there. You don't need to explain it to me. Just be honest with yourself and put those in there. Now, again, it's not hard work, but it is work. But I'll tell you what is even harder on people. Being poor is hard on people. Being poor sucks. Been there, done that. Casey, there's no way that me just putting my numbers in here is going to make me rich. False statement. Guarantee you, anybody that is successful on this planet, minus the people that hit the lottery and they're not successful, they just got lucky and they won't have that money here in about probably 2 years. The reason is they don't have the discipline. Discipline is up to you, only up to you. It's not up to anybody else. Society will discipline you. Civilization will discipline you. But for the wealth side, no one cares. No one's going to do that. No one's going to make you be successful. It is up to you. You got to want it. You got to want it, and you got to push for it. And it's that simple. It's making that simple decision every single day. I've had a lot of people in my organization that'll start, and then they'll stop, and then they'll start, and then they'll stop. They want to know why their business isn't moving, because they're not consistent. I'm being hardcore tonight. I hope everybody knows I love them. But I'm here as your coach right now. We can be friends and go have a cold beer later, or a scotch. I don't drink beer anymore. I drink scotch now. So, all right. So know your numbers. All right. I wrote so much stuff down today. Let's see what else I wanted to share with y'all that was big. Everything that you see right here on this screen is what it takes to be successful in this business, honestly. Even at the higher levels, where you guys are going to be focusing right now is right here to that one. That's all you got to get good at when you get started. That's all you got to do. You got to reach out. You got to build rapport. You got to pique somebody's interest, and you got to pass the ball, edify them. So building rapport, that's reach out. I'm just giving you something so that you can see a number in there that's not 0. Okay, nobody likes you. You can still put numbers on here that you reached out to them. So you can see a win. But reach out and rapport. Whenever I talk about rapport, that's rapport. Piquing interest, that's what that is. Edifying, that's what y'all do, and you pass the ball. If you just get good at these numbers right here, all the other ones will take care of themselves. There will be people that will step up and help you with the rest of this. If you can't find them, you need to start making phone calls. You need to start looking in your upline. You keep going up, and you show somebody that you're tracking your numbers for about 2 weeks, you will have people beating down your door to come help you in your organization. Somebody in my group feels like they're not getting any support. I ask them for their numbers. They show me the numbers. They're my new best friend. After you get done with that, once you start moving up in the game, you start being the one that's on the phone call. That's the proof person doing the inoculation. Somebody is unmuted. After you get done with that, follow up. You're going to get customers. The next thing you're going to get good at is launching. As you move up in the ranks, you're going to be launching people. After that, you're going to be making sure that people are going to regional events and ILA. You're going to be making phone calls all day long, calling through the entire team, making sure that they're going to ILA, finding out ways of problem solving and getting them past their problems on why they can't make it, explaining to them how important it is. Personal development, you got to do that every day, every single day. I don't care if you read one page and you pass out, read a page. Listen to something. Spend 5 minutes on YouTube for something good. And then business partner, getting a business partner. These numbers are the ones that you will track all the way to double black diamond. That's what you want to be looking at. If you get good at tracking these numbers and making sure that these numbers are good, and then you keep a track record of it. Notice that we have multiple months in here. If you look at mine, it goes back 1.5 years. And I can look at trends. I can see what we're doing. I can tell what's going on. I can explain why. I can tell you what happened. And I can explain these numbers, not with guesses, but with actual facts. Then you know you got a business. Okay? So these 3 key things that we talk about all the time, building rapport, piquing interest, and edifying, that's how this all plugs in. Okay? All right. We are out of time. Any last, let me stop sharing that and see if there's any questions here and wrap up for tonight. That's funny. All right. Any final questions before we wrap it up for the evening? Was this helpful today? Thumbs up if it was. Cool. All right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. Let's see here. Next week, we've got Mr. Mark Davenport and Mr. James Bradford in the Houston market. I believe they are in Salt Lake City right now. I believe they will be in Chicago in a day or two. Then they will be here in Houston on late Sunday. I like that. I actually believe I can do this. You sure can. And that's the key, folks. That is an absolute key of making sure that every one of the people in your team believes that they can do it. If they believe they can do it and they see the path up the mountain, they will take the steps up the mountain. And when you realize that's all you have to do, well, heck, I can do that. And that's belief level going up. Get to ILA, your belief's going to go through the roof. You're going to come back like an animal. You're going to be unstoppable. That's the reason you go to ILA. That belief, solely for the belief. So Mr. Davenport and Mr. Bradford are going to be in Houston, and they're going to be here on Monday, and I am going to be with them. So I don't believe we will have a power hour on Monday. On Thursday, we're going to be at ILA, and we're not going to have a power hour for that, okay? So no power hour for next week, all right? Another thing that I want to submit out to all of you guys is that we're going to do something called a summit, all right? And I'm going to open that up for everybody that's been coming to power hour that wants to do it. And what it's going to be is it's going to be next level. It's going to be dedication of 50 straight days, 50. It's going to happen starting about 3 minutes ago, and it's going to be every single night from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Okay? And what it's going to be is we're going to be looking at numbers. We're going to look at every single facet of the business. We're going to be looking at your numbers. You are going to be exposed. You're going to be on the side of the mountain with us. We're going to hear how you did that day. We're going to hear what worked, what didn't work. And that's going to be going on. If you choose to join, I expect you to finish. Now, life's going to happen to some people, but if you don't think there's any way possible you could do 50 days, this isn't for you. If you just got started about 2 hours ago, this isn't for you. You're not ready yet for it, okay? This is that next level. If you believe you're ready for it, you're ready for it. If you just got started 2 hours ago and you said, that's a bunch of crap, Casey, I'm doing it, come on, I want you even worse, all right? But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a grind. I'm looking at a couple people on here that's been on this grind. Karen and Sherry and Jake. Jake, let's hear from you real fast. Tell everybody what they're getting into when they sign up for the summit.
They're losing sleep. Unless they're in Canada, then you're lucky. There's no excuse for any of them up there. But it really is a wonderful experience. And, you know, it really sheds some light on the 80, 20, 10% rule too. You know, there's very few people that can actually stick to it for 50 days or 50 nights, show up every time and have their numbers and, you know, be happy to be there. And if anybody in this group started on the last summit and didn't make it till the end, you missed out on a big thing. I'll say that. And Casey, you mentioned this to us, you know, not too long ago. There were some of us that made it all the way to the end of the summit. And I'm not going to go over exactly what we got because of that, but we got some amazing content the very last night of that summit. Stuff that nobody else in Team Fusion has got unless they are colored diamond level. And we got that just for going those 50 days. And some people even finished that call with that amazing content, and the very next day in their business, they forgot it all. Yep. And it was amazing. But the people who remembered what that content was and what they got from doing the summit, those are the people that went and hit Sapphire. Those are the people that went and hit Pearl. Those are the people that just kept going and came out of the gate and their business transformed. You know, I know Karen said that the summit is really what changed her business. And, you know, for Claire and for myself, it really shows you what you're doing well, and it shows you what you're not doing well. There's no way. If you're honest with your numbers and you record it every day and you're not getting to where you want to be, there's no way that we can't help figure out where the problem is or where we can get better. So the summit is absolutely, it's a game changer. And if you want to build self-discipline, force yourself to do it. Tell yourself you're going to be on there for 50 days. And it's an amazing experience. I'm excited for everyone to be on there that's looking to take it to the next level, like you said, Casey.
Love it, man. Love it, love it, love it. So when does that get started? It gets started on the Monday after ILA. I believe that is the 12th. And we're going to go 50 days. So that's going to take us through all of March, and it'll take us all the way through April. Okay. And then we will finish up on, I think it's May 1st is when we'll finish it. So the only 2 nights that we won't have it will be the last 2 days of the last day of March and the last day of April, because those are going to be final days, and we would need to be blowing business up at that and closing people. Okay, so I will post details of that for the folks that want to be able to go to that. That will be in, I'll post that on the Power Hour when I get that all set up. Okay, all right. Last part. Sherry, I'm glad you sent that privately. That's pretty funny. I'm in. I love it. See a lot of people on that. Okay, cool. All right, so no Power Hour next week. We will have it on at 9 o'clock. And here's the deal. On Mondays and Thursdays, you're going to be 9 to 10 with me here for Power Hour. And then from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, it's going to be the summit. So calculate all that into as well. All right, guys. So we will see everybody at ILA. If you need anything, reach out on Power Hour on the thread and ask questions. I'd love to see that blow up a little bit more, and people got questions, post them out there so that people can share their information, share their questions. It doesn't just have to be 2 nights a week that we get together and discuss on that. So you can do it on that chat session as well. So everybody have an amazing weekend. Make sure you see people in front of Mr. Davenport and Mr. Bradford, wherever they're going. There's a couple slots still left. If you need that in Houston, you can go through me. So private message me on that. What other announcements do I want to make? Yeah, so we'll see you in ILA. Everybody have a safe trip getting there. Sherry, you got something?
Yeah, so some people are not going to get to make it to ILA, so they're like, what happened to Power Hour? So if that's you, all these are recorded. Why don't you go ahead and use a little bit of that self-discipline that we've been talking about and get on there and watch some of the ones you missed, or even refresh and review on the stuff that you haven't met. And if you're just now getting on and you're just now catching up, it's all on that website, man. Go back, look at the ones you haven't seen yet, because this information is gold.
Good point. Love it. Good idea. Thank you, Sherry. All right, everybody, I'm going to unmute the line so we can say good night. You guys are rock stars. Appreciate you being on, and we will see you guys at ILA. Y'all have a great night.
Good night, everyone. Thanks, Casey.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good seeing you all.
Thanks, Casey.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Stacy,
Yes,
you still there?
I'm here.
We're both on.
And I just want to tell you that I just left Lynn Wells's house and we signed up her first customer.
Hey, how about that? That's awesome. Wonderful. Great job, Joanne.
Yep.
Good info. I love that. Good for her, finally.
Yes, yes.
That's exciting. Very cool.
Thank you.
I love it.
Go Sapphire this month, Cindy.
I hope Cindy heard that. Absolutely. We need to pop some more Sapphires. Need some more cars.
Yes.
Yes.
We're gonna do it.
I agree. I think Mr. Haynes passed out. That's funny. He's out. Too funny. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night.